President Donald Trump is being taken to a military hospital less than 24 hours after his coronavirus diagnosis was announced.
The White House says it's a precautionary measure and that the president has mild symptoms but is in good spirits. First Lady Melania Trump is also said to be experiencing mild symptoms, and all of this comes just over a month before Election Day in the United States. Vice President Mike Pence and his wife have tested negative, as have Joe Biden and his wife, who could have been exposed at Tuesday's debate. Meantime, the White House does not appear to be making any changes to its current virus protocol, still calling face masks a personal choice.
The president's diagnosis comes with big implications both domestically and abroad. Our Washington correspondent Reggie Cecchini joins me now to break this down. Reggie, let's begin with this move to Walter Reed and what's behind it. What do we know?
Good evening, Alan. The White House press office put a statement out about half an hour ago indicating that the president would be leaving the executive residence inside the White House and being airlifted or essentially medevaced to Walter Reed Medical Center in Maryland, saying out of an abundance of caution and at the recommendation of his physician and medical experts, President Trump will be working from the presidential offices at Walter Reed for the next few days. We've also been told there has been no transfer of power between President Trump and Vice President Pence per the Constitution. This does raise questions as to whether or not the severity of President Trump's symptoms that we've heard simply as being fatigue and a mild fever potentially could be worse, or whether they're simply just relying on the better resources that exist at Walter Reed than inside the White House.
Reggie, a lot of speculation about that because the initial report from the chief of staff, the White House chief of staff, was, as you said, mild fever, mild discomfort. And then we learned that Trump was given an experimental antibody treatment. What do we know about that?
Yeah, these are differing views from what we're hearing inside the actual White House. The chief of staff, like you said, Mark Meadows, out earlier saying the president was in good spirits. Again, that he was simply just feeling a little bit fatigued. But a short time later, the White House physician had released a note saying that President Trump, yes, he was fatigued, but that he had also been given an experimental antibody treatment that is still in trials. It's not fully available to the public yet. This could be part of the reason why the president is headed to Walter Reed Medical Center. But the fact that it was given under what's considered compassionate use, and that is essentially given to patients that have no other options or severe or life-threatening diseases. The physician's note was not clear on why the president was given such a high dose of these antibodies, nor what additional symptoms he may be experiencing. And this is leading to questions now from within the press corps as to whether they are being transparent enough about the president's medical history, considering this is now his second trip to Walter Reed in just over 300 days, and the press has yet to be given the reason why he was in the hospital the first time.
Have we heard anything from the White House about the president speaking or tweeting or even putting a statement out beyond the tweet last night that he had tested positive?
There have been reports from aides to the president, or at least inside the administration, that they were going to work to try and make the president seen today. There had been speculation that could have come via a presidential address later tonight. Obviously, that's not going to happen now that the president is heading to Walter Reed. This very well could have kind of thrown a wrench into any plan to show that the president is not kind of incapacitated and still able to carry out the duties, which is partly part of the reason that they may be holding off on doing any kind of transfer of power and allowing for the president to work from the hospital rather than work from the executive residence. There has been an incredibly tight lid on the White House for information that's been coming out over the last 24 hours since the president really himself issued that diagnosis via Twitter. And since then, very few people have actually come out to give an inside look as to what's happening to the president, which is causing concern not only in Washington, but really across the country right now.
Reggie Cecchini, live in Washington. Thank you, Reggie.